Hello friend, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be looking at filmmaking items found at this one particular retail store here in the United States. I think this store is somewhat underrated in the world of filmmaking, and while I'm not the first one to know that you can find some really awesome deals here, I've been surprised at the amount of friends I've mentioned this to, as well as people here online that live in the United States and have never heard of this store or have never considered picking it up. So in today's video, we're going to talk about a little bit what the store is, kind of your approach to finding good deals there, and then we're going to walk through items that I have purchased from this store at great prices that I use regularly on my video production sets. The store is called Harbor Freight. It is located here in the United States. They essentially sell budget tools, and they go about it in a way differently than Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart. And the first thing is they kind of encourage in-store shopping. While you can ship items to get the best price on these items, you need to be there in store. So check if there is a store near you. And then the structure they go about is on top of their already low prices where they're trying to compete with more expensive brands, they frequently run promotions, coupons, and deals almost every single week where you can kind of be keeping an eye on what you might want. And there's some pretty crazy ones throughout the year where certain items get heavily discounted and people kind of flock to the store to pick those up. And so that is going to be your answer to getting the best price on some of these items. I still think if you don't want to wait around for the sales, you can totally just go in person, pay the price. It's already pretty discounted, but that is kind of my approach to how I shop Harbor Freight. I have the Inside Track Club membership, which gets you access to exclusive deals, and you pay it one time per year, and I think it really pays for itself even if you buy just a few items. And so let's get into the items you might want to consider buying at Harbor Freight. Okay, the first item is not specific to filmmaking, but I think everyone out there should have this, and it is one of the cheapest products that they sell. It's the Harbor Freight key knife. This is $1.99 regular price. I think it goes on sale for $1, or they might even give it away for free. And while this kind of seems like a funny, gag gift you might give someone, I keep one on my key ring, and I use this thing more times than I would like to admit. I used to carry around a multi-tool. I tried carrying around a pocket knife. I frequently lose them, kind of misplace them, don't always keep track of them, and having this thing on my key ring, I end up using all the time. I think the design changes throughout the year. Mine looks different than the one they sell now, but next time you go in, consider picking up the key knife. The next item I think is one of the most popular for filmmakers and photographers, but I have still met people that have not heard of these. And so these are the Apache cases, very similar to what you might find from Pelican, but at a much cheaper cost. And so I think the most popular one that I have bought two of is the Apache 5800. This is essentially equivalent of the Pelican 1510. It is carry-on size. You can easily, fly with it, travel with it, has wheels, and for my use cases has really held up well over time. They come with like the pull and pluck style foam. I replace these with the foam dividers, but at this cost, I just feel like you can't pass this up if you're looking to buy hard cases. No one likes spending money on items like that, and so this is a great opportunity to pick these up. I think the 5800 is typically $99, so only $100, but frequently goes on sale throughout the year, and so you can pick this up for as little as $69 when it's on sale. The next item I've seen a bunch of other people using as well. This is their moving blankets, commonly used for negative fill or as a sound blanket to help control reflections during an interview. They have several different sizes. I think prices range from like $5 to $13. They also go on sale. I think I just have a few of the small ones. I have them here in the studio, and I'm frequently pulling for them if I'm needing to just put one on the floor to kind of reduce reflections or footsteps during an interview, and also have used them as negative fill or to kind of black out a window in a scenario where I need to. Next item is going to be spring clamps. I'm using these all the time. I have a bunch in the 2-inch version as well as the 1-inch version. These are great for clipping reflectors, hanging negative fill like we talked about before, maybe blocking out a window. There are so many different use cases for spring clamps on a film set. I'm not the only one to talk about that. And I think they're just a little bit cheaper at Harbor Freight. Mine have held up really well over time. I haven't really had any issues. Sometimes the little rubber ends fall off, but I'm not really needing those. And so I think typically these are around like $1.29 or $2 depending on which item. I think they also go on sale throughout the year, so definitely pick up a handful next time you're in. The next item is one of my favorites as it is so cheap but so functional, and it is these tool bags, specifically the 15-inch model. They're typically $10, but they frequently go on sale for $5. And that's why I say I think for $5, this is literally a steal I have kind of adopted using these to carry a bunch of different items, both in the studio and on set. I use one for extension cords. I have one for clamps. I have one that's an audio bag. All my audio gear lives in there. And then I have a miscellaneous bag full of a bunch of smaller pouches, anything from cables to tools, those extra miscellaneous items that you need to carry with you on set. They all live in these tool bags. And I've loved adopting these kind of as my primary way to transport gear, as the hard cases just really build up over time. I still use 2 of the Apache cases to carry things like cameras and lenses, but anything that's less important than that, I've found that it just fits better in a bag. It packs up smaller, and one of the best parts about using bags when you're using them on set, they can actually double as sandbags in a pinch. So I've been on a few shoots, kind of a small crew, where we didn't have a ton of sandbags and we needed to tie down a few stands. And since these are bags, you can simply place them on the stand. They add a little bit of weight and are really great in a pinch for kind of run and gun documentary scenarios. The next item I have not purchased myself from Harbor Freight, but I've heard other people buying these, and I think they're a great price, and that is extension cords. Not the most interesting thing, but you need them. I actually used to run a fireworks tent back in the day as one of my first jobs, and from this job, I had a bunch of extension cords, so I've kept those. Those are a lot of the ones I'm using today for my video production sets, but if I needed to go buy more, I think Harbor Freight is a great option. They have several different gauges, and these go on sale, I think, close to like 50% off certain times of the year. So if you don't love the prices right away with where these currently sit, just keep an eye for discounts on the specific gauge or length you are looking for, and I think they will serve you quite well. The next item is more for a studio or a home office, but it is this Yukon rolling toolbox. You guys have probably seen these in the background of a ton of people's YouTube videos. There are a ton of different ones, but I think these ones from Harbor Freight are really quality and come in at a great budget price point compared to the ones that you're gonna find at Home Depot or Lowe's. And so this white one that I have in my studio from Harbor Freight is $350. So if you just go and buy it new, $350, but regularly goes on sale for $290. And a lot of times during the year, they kind of have like a 25% off no exclusions coupon. That's what I actually used on this box and got it for a really reduced rate. So I think it's one of the best bang for buck kind of storage solutions for filmmakers needing to hold things like cameras, lenses, a bunch of little gear. I think a toolbox like this makes a ton of practical sense, and I've really loved this one from Harbor Freight. The next item is not super interesting, but you definitely need them, and that is zip ties and Velcro cable ties. I probably wouldn't go out of my way just to buy these from Harbor Freight because I think there's similar prices on Amazon or wherever you might find these, but while you're in, I think grab them. I am frequently using zip ties for anything and everything. The most recent use that's actually been pretty frequent has been fixing plants while on corporate shoots. A lot of times they're drooping over, and I'm always grabbing zip ties to kind of tighten these up, make them look a lot more presentable on camera. And then the other one is Velcro cable ties. I wish there was a better solution for wrapping cables, as the kind of hook and loop style cable organizers wear out over time. But I've just found that these are a great budget option, keeps your cables organized, and as they wear out, you can replace these every few years on the cables that you're using the most, and really keeps them organized. And I found when I don't have these on my cables, things just get crazy. I'm always needing more of them. So pick up a pack next time you're in the store. The next item you might not have heard of is on the repair side of things, and I've gotten so many uses out of this since I bought it, and that is their Quinn Electronics Repair Kit. And so this is typically $38, goes on sale for $29, and I think for $29, what you get in this kit is truly amazing. I have used this to repair several broken film cameras as well as lenses. It's basically this like tiny screwdriver set with every, precision screwdriver tip that you might need, along with things like tweezers that you might need to fix those really small electronics. It lives in this little kit, and I have pulled for it more times than I thought I would. And I think this is a good time to mention one of the things that Harbor Freight is known for, why people like them, is their lifetime warranty on particular tools. So they have a lifetime warranty on all hand tools. This is not something you purchase, it just comes with your tool purchase. So if you buy a wrench and 2 years from now you snap the wrench, just take your wrench in, put it on the counter, and they will simply give you a new one. You don't need a receipt, no questions asked. They make that exchange process really easily. And this electronics kit actually falls under their lifetime warranty. And so I can't remember what I was working on, but I broke one of the tips to the screwdrivers because I was really trying to get this fastener loosened and I probably wasn't doing it correctly. I ended up breaking it. I was actually able to just take it in. They replaced the whole kit same day, no questions asked. And is a big reason why I enjoy buying hand tools from Harbor Freight. The last item on my list is going to be more general, as it's not one particular item, but I think all filmmakers should keep a small tool set on them when they're on set. You never know when you're going to need things like pliers, scissors, maybe a multi-tool, small screwdrivers, a large screwdriver. I keep a small toolkit here in my miscellaneous bag, and Harbor Freight is a great place to pick some items up. They have a ton of just individual pliers, things that you can pick up. And the reason why I'd probably push you to pick these up from Harbor Freight is it's not going to be something you're going to be using day in and day out. You need something to get the job done, but you don't need to spend a ton of money on name brand hand tools. You can simply go and exchange them if one ever breaks, like I mentioned previously. And I think this is something that I am so glad that I have not been without on several productions where I've really needed a small tool. To end out this video, I'm just gonna quickly go through a bunch of honorable mentions or just some other random things you might wanna consider picking up. So first one is just this 4-foot power strip. Used to have this mounted underneath my desk, but goes on sale, I think for like $15, really great price. Other thing would be like reusable gloves for load in and load out. You know, no one likes to pinch their hand in a stand, and a lot of times having gloves just gives you a little bit more confident moving gear on set. They have a bunch for really cheap prices. Next is going to be these V-shape hangers. Put these in your garage, wherever you're storing your camera gear. If you have a studio, really easy to just wrap cables and keep them organized. Next quick item is just going to be magnets. They have these large ones, like 81 millimeters, hold close to 100 pounds. These are great for, maybe blacking out a window, attaching some negative fill. You don't have anything to clamp onto. They have a wide assortment of magnets that I think are worth picking up. Paracord, you might need to tie something off, need to add a safety chain. Just buy a quick thing of paracord, throw it in your kit. Electrical tape, and the last thing I'm going to say is AA batteries. They're not the highest quality, but they often give away these batteries for free. Just pick up a brick of them, throw them in your stuff. Really great if you are in a pinch, you forgot to charge your rechargeables, or you just need some extra spare batteries. I think having some of these on you is definitely going to be worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. Let me know down in the comments if there is an item that you use from Harbor Freight regularly on film sets that I did not mention. I try to do my best to kind of build this list over the last 6 to 8 months as I've been in the store, kind of considering, what would filmmakers potentially need. Would love to hear it. Let me know any questions you have down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.